Welcome back. Previously, we have discussed in brief non-financial performance measures. Let us discuss some of the other measures that use for measuring the performance of the organization. Next one, balanced scorecard, otherwise known as BSC. Today's environment is highly competitive and extremely dynamic. It is characterized by rapidly changing technology, global competition, focus on meeting and exceeding customer expectations, and many more. In this competitive business environment, managers must focus on factors other than financial performance. The traditional financial performance measures such as profit, return on investment, residual income, economic value added, etc., are backward looking. That is why it is known as traditional methods. They focus on past financial performance rather than on what managers are doing to create future shareholder value. Thus, traditional financial performance measures are simply inadequate to fully assess the performance of companies and their divisions in their environment. Quality may be more important than cost. Timeliness may be more important than meeting budget. Similarly, customer service may be more important than return on investment. To overcome the limitations of traditional financial performance measures, a new approach has been developed. This new approach or measure is known as balanced scorecard. It was developed by Robert Kaplan, a Harvard professor, and David Norton, a consultant, in 1996 for the measurement and management of corporate performance. So, regarding balanced scorecard, as I have mentioned above, the traditional financial performance measures have little use in making decisions relating to customer satisfaction, quality issues, productivity, efficiency, and employee satisfaction. The managers also need information regarding the success or failure of new products or marketing campaigns designed to enhance customer value. So, the balanced scorecard approach integrates financial and non-financial performance measures. It attempts to blend financial dimensions like return on investment, profits, earning per share, economic value added, residual income approach, and at the same time non-financial dimensions like product quality, customer satisfaction, personal factors, etc. in the evaluation of the strategy. It uses a set of financial and non-financial measures that are related to the overall strategy of the organization. It is a technique of providing information to management to help strategic planning and policy formulation. So, the name balanced scorecard reflects the balance provided between short-term and long-term objectives, and at the same time it also considers financial and non-financial measures, lagging and leading indicators, and also between external and internal perspectives. So, balanced scorecard is based on considering or coordination of non-financial measures as well as financial measures, but it works on a particular pattern is that it will chart out different perspectives, and on the basis of those perspectives the performance of the organization is measured. So let us discuss in brief what are the perspectives of balanced scorecard. So as I have mentioned earlier, balanced scorecard is a set of performance measures constructed for 4 dimensions of performance. In simple words, we can say balanced scorecard approach requires looking at performance from 4 different but related perspectives. These dimensions of perspectives include financial perspective, customer perspective, internal business perspective and learning and growth perspective. We will discuss in detail each of the perspectives. So first one, let us begin with financial perspective. The primary goal of every profit-making enterprise is to earn a profit. Profit allows the firm to provide a return on investment to investors, helps in repaying the creditors, and also providing adequate remuneration to management and employees. So, how this perspective works? The financial perspective measures the economic performance of the company. It measures the economic consequence of actions taken in the other three perspectives. We will discuss about other three perspectives in detail. The financial perspective establishes long-term and short-term financial performance objectives. The financial perspective has four main objectives. They are revenue growth, cost reduction, asset utilization, shareholders value. So these are the four main objectives from the financial perspective of the organization. So we can always otherwise say that the objectives may be otherwise termed as critical success factors, and every organization will have critical success factors or objectives, and whether the organization has achieved these objectives, that is the concept. So the overall objective is to ensure whether the company is achieving its financial goals. These are the critical factors which we have mentioned now, and at the same time there are certain performance measures for each dimension of perspective. In respect of financial perspective, the various measures are operating income, return on investment, sales growth, residual income, and reduction of administrative expenses, and finally cash flow from operations. So as I have mentioned earlier, there will be four main perspectives, and in each perspective there will be a critical success factors, otherwise known as objectives, and whether the organization has achieved their objectives or not. For that, various performance measures tools are there. For each perspective there will be a set of critical success factors and performance measures tools. So remember that whether the organization has achieved these factors or not, that is understood on the base of these measures. That is with regard to financial perspective. Next one, customer perspective. Many successful businesses have found that focusing on customers and meeting or exceeding their needs is more important than simply focusing on financial measures or performance. That's the ultimate truth. After all, it is the customer who ultimately incurs the cost of producing goods and contributes to a company's profit. Therefore, considering customer perspective is very important in attaining the financial goal of a company. So all these perspectives are related. The customer perspective defines and selects the customer and market segments in which the company chooses to compete. Once the customers and segments are identified, the critical success factors or objectives and measures for performance are set by the organization. So let us discuss about the various critical success factors or objectives under customer perspective. So various factors are customer satisfaction, increased quality of products, reduced delivery time, customer loyalty. So these are the objectives with regard to customer perspective. On these objectives only the organization has to concentrate, and whether the organization has achieved the critical success factors or not. For that, various performance measures are there, such as number of warranty claims, returned products, percentage of on-time deliveries, customer complaints, customer satisfaction, customer retention, new customer acquisition, and market share. So on the basis of these points or these measures, we can assume that, or why we can found out that whether the organization has achieved critical success factors with regard to customer perspective. That is a pattern of operation under the balanced scorecard. I hope you have understand the concept of balanced scorecard and various perspectives. And regarding critical success factors, for every perspective there will be a set of critical success factors and various measures of performance. Hope you have followed all these terms, because we have mentioned one of these terms in the previous sessions. If you have any issues or need any clarification, please let me know. So let us go to the next one. Internal business process perspective. As I have mentioned earlier, this is another perspective that comes under the same category. Internal business process are the means for creating customer and shareholders value. Thus, the business process perspective involves the identification of the processes needed to achieve the customer and financial objectives. So it also has some critical success factors and performance measures. So let us discuss it in detail. Critical success factors. So various critical success factors or objectives are: improve productivity or efficiency, improve product quality, reduce manufacturing or process time. So these are the various critical factors that has to be considered under internal business process perspective, and whether the organization has achieved these objectives or not. For that, various performance measures are there, such as defect rate, lead time. I hope you know what is meant by defect rate and lead time. Number of suppliers, material turnover, percentage of practical capacity, cycle time and velocity, and finally manufacture cycle efficiency. So on the basis of these points or these performance measures tools, we can assume that whether the organization has achieved the various critical factors with regard to the particular perspective. In this case, it is the internal business perspective, and these are the critical success factors, otherwise known as objectives, and these are the various performance measures that for making sure whether the organization has achieved these objectives or not. And finally, learning and growth perspective, otherwise known as innovation perspective. This is the last perspective. The learning and growth perspective links the critical success factors in the other perspectives. It also ensures the achievement of the objectives of the other three perspectives. So that is the concept. It mainly concentrate on whether the organization is able to fulfill the preceding three perspectives. So if the learning improves, internal business process will improve. This leads to increased customer value and satisfaction. This ultimately leads to a better financial performance. So it implies that all the actions with regard to perspectives are interrelated. Achievement of one perspective will lead to the achievement of another, and ultimately increase in the efficiency of the organization. It also has some critical success factors, so let us go through that. First one, efficient and effective use of employees, product innovation, effective and efficient use of employees, information system capabilities. These are the main critical success factors or objectives with regard to learning and growth perspective. Next one, what are the various measures for performance? It includes amount spent on employee training, employees satisfaction rating, employee retention, number of suggestions per employees, number of new products within the organization, new product sales as a percentage of total sales, number of patents, and finally amount spent for research and development. So these are the various performance measures to make sure whether the organization has achieved the critical objectives that comes under the learning and growth perspective, and all these perspectives are interrelated. Achievement of one perspective leads to achievement of another, and this is considered to be the one of the best most used method for measuring the performance of the organization. And we will discuss about the further methods or cases in the next sessions. Just go through it. If you have any issues or queries, please let me know.